The question is this the Sudiru de Muindi or there is another Sudiru behind this Sudiru? Is this really the Sudiru we know? I doubt. There could be another black Sudiru behind this Burauni Muindi called the Sudiru Pareria. Can we know this Sudiru? Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Muhammad of Makkah. Yesu Kristo mwana wa Bikira Maria Mutukrifu. Muyambe Hegwangawa. Help our country. Call upon Gen.Muhoozi Kainerugaba to come out and begin to fight these corrupt people. They are ministers, they fear you. They are commissioners, they are permanent secretary, they are technical officers in this ministry. Before you is a anti-corruption crusader, NRM cadre, award-winning, acid-tested Pan-Africanist, a fierce patriot of Uganda, a rat farmer, and the aspirant for National Vice Chairperson, NRM, for Northern Uganda, Central Executive Committee. I am before you today, my countrymen and women, to address you on issues of large-scale syndicated corruption done by none other than senior government officials at the level of ministers, commissioners, principal officers in our ministry and government agencies and departments. Two corruption issues I want to address you on today, in line with the letter I have written to His Excellency, the petition I have written to His Excellency, President Yoweri Museveni Kaguta, to drop and terminate all the ministers that were previously involved in the scandalous relief program of Karamoja, where we lost iron sheets meant to settle the stubborn Karachunas, the warriors disturbing the Karamojongs, where we lost goats, money for goats, for Karamojong, where we lost 290 tons of maize flour meant to feed the dying Karamojong. Now, countrymen and women, why is this address very important? Government is losing huge money in syndicated corruption. One, in renting houses or offices or buildings or private people to accommodate government officials at exorbitant cost. Now, we are faced with a challenge whereby World Bank has refused to fund any more project in Uganda because of the Anti-Homosexuality Act. Now, World Bank is already refused. World Bank has been funding a government program to a tune of up to 6.7 trillion Ugandan cedi. Now, World Bank has refused any more new program to be funded in Uganda. Now, we must now go and harden on this area where government is losing a lot of money. Recover this money. Stop this hemorrhage so that we save money for doing critical things for this country, for delivering services, for building infrastructure, schools, hospitals, for doing critical things that are needed to support the people of Uganda. On this note, given this preamble, I want to now deliver to you two important corruption cases that we must deal with urgently. Be aware, Parliament of the Republic of Uganda has been probing one ministry, Ministry of Trade and Industries, over corruption-related matters and abuse of authority. Today, I want to give you details about this relating to government loss of money to syndicated corruption, large-scale syndicated corruption. In August 2021, the former permanent secretary of Ministry of Trade, Madam Grace Adong Choda, wrote a supplementary request to permanent secretary requesting for money for a chain of activities including 80 billion for renting Kingdom Hall belonging to Sudiru Pareria or Muindi, Sudiru Pareria, annually, 80 billion annually for renting Kingdom Hall to accommodate offices of Ministry of Trade and Industry. In other words, Ministry of Trade officials wanted to vacate government building, Farmers House, which is a very strong building, Farmers House, to go for a rented office space in Kingdom Hall at a cost of 80 billion per annum for 10 years. That means we were set to lose 80 billion in 10 years of office rent. When the new minister, actually when the new minister came, when transfers were made by government, when the permanent secretaries were changed, the new permanent secretary, Madam Geraldine Sali, looked at this cost as an exorbitant cost and decided to engage government authorities, Attorney General, Solicitor General, Ministry of Finance, to seek their consent to see that we would renovate Farmers House instead of moving to a rented office at an exorbitant cost of 80 billion in 10 years. Indeed, due diligence we are done, approvals we are done, authorizations we are done, including by Ministry of Work, to accept renovation of Farmers House at a cost of 4.8 billion, which later shot up to 6.2 billion because of the increase in the cost of some of the materials like clinker that was coming outside because of the war in Russia, between Russia and Ukraine. And then some of the improvements made, which we are not recommended by Ministry of Work, but to give the officers a good look. Now, this is the 80 billion we are going to lose to Sudiro Pareria alone, countrymen and women. Sudiro Pareria is not only having this interest. Sudiro Pareria is accommodating Parliament. Parliament of the Republic of Uganda is paying over 800 million per month to Sudiro Pareria in renting offices. Their government advisors, like Professor Kamuntu, their government advisors that are renting offices there. Uganda Human Rights Commission, there's a commission renting offices there. Now, the same Sudiro is interested in this Farmers House. The question is this the Sudiro de Muindi, or there is another Sudiro behind this Sudiro? Is this really the Sudiro we know? I doubt. There could be another black Sudiro behind this Burauni Muindi called the Sudiro Pareria. Can we know this Sudiro? That should be Parliament interest. In fact, Parliament erred. Parliament should have invited Sudiro Pareria to find out how his Kingdom Hall was identified exclusively. Why not other buildings? Why not buildings of Ham? Ham has very many buildings. Why not buildings of other property property owners in Kampala here? Why only Sudiro Pareria? The question is this the Sudiro de Muindi, or there's another black Sudiro behind that Sudiro de Muindi? Can we know this Sudiro? It's a lot of money, countrymen and women. We are losing money, and what is very obscene in this matter is that this transfer, the intended transfer, involved 3 ministers and some technical officers in the Ministry of Trade and Industry. Now I want to ask, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, Muhammad of Makkah, Yesu Kristo omwana wa Bikira Maria Mutukrifu, Muyambe egwanga, help our country. How much are we going to lose? We are losing money in trillions to corruption. President Yoweri Museveni, begin to cut the heads of these corrupt people, deal with them, do acid cleaning of government. The thieves today are not actually ordinary people. No, they are very highly connected government officials at the level of ministers, commissioners, permanent secretaries, and what have you. Now you can imagine Madam Geraldine Sali, who saved the government a loss of 80 billion in red, is being beaten, is being condemned, is being abused, is being crucified for refusing the transfer of Ministry of Trade from Farmers House to Kingdom Hotel. There are other clients of Ministry of Trade in that Farmers House. We have Public Service Commission. We have Education Service Commission. The question is, if the building of Farmers House was condemned to be dilapidated, has there been any complaint from other clients who are there that they need a transfer? Has there been any request of supplementary budget or a budget by those other government agencies which are there? The Public Service Commission, which is an important commission. The Education Service Commission, this is a very big commission. If not, who gave these people the idea? And indeed, in the leaked report of Parliament, of the probe, actual Parliament found that, indeed, there was nothing like that. This was just a deal of some people in the Ministry of Trade who wanted to take forcefully Farmers House. Then the other question I want the people of Uganda to know, what was then going to be left of the Farmers House? I want to inform you, another mafia was planning to grab that house, build again government offices for government to come and rent from him. You remember, Kingdom Hotel is built on a government land, which was previously occupied by Shimon Demonstration School. Now we are renting from a place which was previously government place, which has become private. This is, what do you call this? In normal English, what do we call this? This is absurdity. This is a large-scale corruption. This is industrial-scale corruption. This is robbery. In fact, the corruption in Uganda should be referred to as aggravated robbery, aggravated rape of the finances of this country. So now, why have I come to address you? One, I want to inform the president that government must pick interest and find out how much money we lose in renting government offices. Can we recover that money? Take some of these government agencies to free spaces in some of the ministries. Some of these ministries have whole floors, have 2 floors, which are not occupied. Can't we accommodate other sister government agencies in those floors? Why must we spend money? Can we fast track the construction of government offices in the Bwebaja location we are talking about? Can we give ourselves a time period so that we save money and deal with this crisis set by World Bank of refusing to fund Uganda anymore, of refusing to fund any project in Uganda? I thank you very much. Countrymen and women, there is another large-scale corruption issue relating to a syndicated corruption involving 3 ministers, one of which is at the level of Deputy Prime Minister, involving a Minister of in the Ministry of Security and Defense and Ministry of Trade, concerning establishment of a fake regional market called Mutukula Regional Market, something which is non-existent, which is a fake, and that the market, the investment there will be to a tune of 269 billion US dollars, which is actually the GDP of the 7 countries of East African community combined. Now, a dealer of pumpkin flour in Robaga here, called Mr. Karamaji Karim, was made a decoy CEO and the founder of the market. The local people in Mutukula, we are asked to give money. We are robbed of money that they would own stalls in that market. This market was launched in 2017 by the late Sirunda Chivejinja, and again relaunched, I think, in 2022 by Right Honorable Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga. This market was supposed to be constructed in 2 years. Right now, there is nothing like a single brick put there. Now, these people wanted government to commit itself to guarantee the loans investors that want to put up projects in that market would like to borrow from external sources. And they have grabbed over 200 acres of government land in Sango Bay. They want to register it in a private name of now Karimu Karamaji, the decoy investor. Government has already lost the land. Land is a resource. It can be valued in terms of money. Now, this fake program, this fake project of Mutukula Regional Market is again a project, a corruption project of government ministers, some commissioners in the Ministry of Trade, and some principal officers in the Ministry of Trade to cheat government. To make matters worse, these people duped the president to launch the program. The president launched it in Kololo here, Kololo. So I can therefore tell you that the issue of corruption in this country has gone to industrial scale level. It is no longer anything, but we must call it large scale corruption. Done with impunity. These people do not fear anything. They don't fear IGG. They don't fear security. They only fear exposure and the president alone. That is why we must expose them. That's why we must let the president know. These are the only 2 things they fear: exposure and the president. They don't fear security, they don't fear IGG, they don't fear anything. They can compromise all this, but not exposure and not the president. So it's our duty to defend this country. 260 billion US dollars. If a government commits itself to guarantee such money, how many years will our country pay? Over 200 years. Which means our children will be condemning to pay debts that they did not know anything about, debt that did not benefit them at all. Thank you very much. Arua. Oh, very good. In Arua, there is a corruption case. Government built 2 facilities. In the taxi park, Arua taxi park, which was supposed to be accommodating 200 vendors, the original vendors who were there. 100 were given spaces, the other 100, the officials in the district, including politicians and technical people, distributed it among themselves. Government built, that taxi park was built using World Bank fund, money. Then the government built market in Arua city, again using World Bank fund. 200 vendors, original vendors who were in the market, were supposed to get the stalls. And the other 100, their stalls were distributed among government officials in the city. To make matters worse, the money collected, over 200 million is collected in the market every day. And less than 50 million is banked on a city account, government account. Over 200 million is collected every day. And less than 50 million is banked on a city account every month. You can imagine the robbery. In the taxi park, the stalls, the lower floor rooms are supposed to go for 300,000. Now there are people there, they are renting it up to a cost of 1 million. And what do they bank in the government account? They only bank the 300 million, and yet they are charging over 1 million to the clients. Now the upper floors are supposed to be for 150,000. They are charging up to 800,000, and only banking 150 in the city account. Who are the people involved? These are the very technical people in the city, together with the politicians. So what is left of this country? Thank you very much.
You petitioned
yes.
the town clerk for Arua
Brought to the town clerk under Access to Information Act 2005 and Article 41 of the Constitution to avail me information in his possession concerning this matter. And I have talked to him. He's positive about it. He's arranging them, and he's going to give them to me. And after there, I will petition Parliament. I will petition IGG. I will petition the President. I will petition Anti-Corruption Unit of State House to follow this matter aggressively with myself watching them. Otherwise, if we don't watch these borders, they will also stray. Yes. Yes. These corruption cases. Yes. For that question, I can tell you that the issue of Arua market, even the president himself directed the Anti-Corruption Unit of State House to follow it up. They also dragging their feet. That's why I'm coming up. These agencies, if we don't watch them, they are likely to stray. This is a matter which by now should have been concluded. These issues have been reported to these anti-corruption agencies. And I tell you, if we don't come up to watch over these borders, they will let us down. Yes.
What about the issue of farmers' house?
The farmers' house. The farmers' house is the issue which Parliament has been probing, and you can see the leaked report is instead condemning the patriot who fought to prevent government in the interest of the people of Uganda to renovate farmers' house. Now they are condemning her that she should be removed as a PS. Can you imagine? Not even a single paragraph of appreciating her effort. It is very ugly, to say the least. People who have interest to lead this country like Gen.Muhoozi in Uganda, please, this is your best opportunity to come out to defend the national interest by fighting these people of corruption. If you can use the authority you have now to fight corruption, it will be for the good of this country. All other people who want to lead this country, I'm calling upon you and your supporters. Let's fight this corruption seriously. If we don't fight, the country you want to lead may be a failed country. How will you succeed? So I call upon Gen.Muhoozi to come out and begin to fight these corrupt people. They are ministers, they fear you. They are commissioners, the permanent secretaries, the technical officers in this ministry. I want these ministers dropped from cabinet. Somebody is already having a dirty name, is struggling with the court cases. How can such a person even sit at a cabinet table to discuss about Uganda? The person is abusing. What image does it show to the president? How can a smelly person, dirty one, sitting near the president of the republic, who is a fountain of honor? So it is very, very important that these people are relieved of their offices. They first go and clean themselves, clean their names in the court, if at all they are to be considered for other redeployment. Otherwise, we don't need these people there. Their presence in the cabinet gives them opportunity to go and even compromise in these cases. These are powerful offices where people have access to resources, and they can decide to abuse these resources by fighting the interest of Uganda, just the way they did it by taking away the iron sheet, the maize flour meant for the poor Karamojong. So the president should not wait for court process. The president should take political action. So courts should do their work as the president does his work. The two can work independently in harmony. Thank you very much. I fear. Don't you fear? I am a human being. I fear. But then I ask myself, if I don't fight for the interest of Uganda, what about these two younger children I am having? Won't they condemn me in the future that I did nothing when the country was being robbed, raped, failed? So it is better I fight to defend their interest. And I want to tell the people of Uganda, if you cannot fight for anything for the good of this country, then your existence as a citizen is better than nothing. It is better you were not even a citizen of Uganda, because you are not fighting the interest of the country. I fear. Bana Uganda babuuza nze wakitotia abenguzi bakambwenyo bana namutia kakati nina abana babiri oba nze tagenda wali kuyamba egwanga wafe bagenda kugamba ki ditatawe tayamba egwanga ditatawe ya muwa egwanga wafe kwa benguzi kubya sende yona bagenda kugamba ki tisaweno ayagala nze kuyimirira ku esonga wa igwanga wafe ti obera muna gwanga ayagala gwe kuyimirira kuyamba igwanga wafe toyamba igwanga wafe wachi uli citizen wa igwanga eno ti mufunume oba bera citizen wa igwanga endala oba oyagala kuyamba ate ntagala kubuuza bana Uganda yona muje saweno kukola isonga za inguzi wano oyagala Uganda kugenda maaso webale nyo webale dala.